We now move to an important part of our program this evening, the introduction of our keynote speaker. We're absolutely delighted to have Piyush Patel with us today. Piyush began his higher education pursuit in the field of elementary education, intent on sharing his love of learning and enthusiasm for math and science. But while a student at OSU, Piyush developed the I Wonder Fair. This amazing event attracted more than 5,000 elementary students from all over the state of Oklahoma, where they learned the wonders of science. Piyush's entrepreneurial spirit started early and has continued to grow and flourish. His company, Digital Tutors, is the leader throughout the world in online training education for 1.5 million people. His current adventure takes him to Napa, California, where he and his wife own a winery. But the significant part of the adventure is that every bottle of wine sold provides a contribution to Oklahoma nonprofit organizations, like OSU, for example. The first time I was in Piyush's office, I was looking at a commercial they had done with Pixar of a Lexus going through the mountains. And Piyush said, you know, none of that's real. We did it all digitally. It's all virtual. And this company is an absolute example of where we are in the digital revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a real digital disruptor, Piyush Patel.
Very kind, thank you. Well, I am truly honored to be here today as a fellow Oklahoma State Cowboy. Burns, I am humbled that you would even call me. And when the president calls your cell phone while you're on spring break, you answer that call. Ladies and gentlemen, if you bear with me for the next 10 minutes, I promise I'll change at least one of your lives, and I might inspire one or two others. And looking at the number of people in the room, those are pretty good odds. Today, we're going to talk about Success Network, Daydreamers, and Trajectory. Like many of you, I did not win the genetic lottery. I'm short, brown, and balding. My parents came to the United States from England in 1978, and they worked 7 days a week, believe it or not, until just about a month ago. They have worked 7 days a week. And most of that time was to put food on the table. They couldn't make my parent-teacher conferences, my games, my performances. They were focused on helping us eat. Both my parents never finished high school. They went straight to work in factories in England. So you can only imagine trying to get help on my AP calculus in high school was a little bit challenging. Come to think of it, it's probably challenging for all of us parents right now, right? I remember my mother would put dinner on the table, and then I'd watch her grab a bowl of cereal, and I'd always wonder why, and it was because we'd run out of food. So I saw the sacrifices that my parents made for my brother and I, but they did give me an amazing gift, and that gift was the gift of manual labor. See, my parents owned a motel, which meant nights, weekends, and summers, starting at the age of 12, it was manual labor. And it did not take me long to figure out, I don't want to do this. My mother would tell me, if I don't get an education, I'm more than welcome to come home and clean bathrooms anytime. Let me tell you, she changed the trajectory of my life. I enrolled in OSU, and if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm Asian, which means my parents wanted me to be either an engineer, lawyer, or doctor. I think today IT would have been acceptable too. So I started off as an electrical engineering major, and I realized my junior year that my real calling was education. I wanted to change other people's lives and give them the gift that I was given. I'm the first of my family to graduate. My younger brother has graduated. My wife, Lisa, of 18 years, also my 8th grade pen pal. Yeah. She's also the first in her family to graduate, and from OSU as well. So we're very proud to be Cowboys. I've spent my whole career teaching and giving the gift of learning, oftentimes to complete strangers. From starting off as a middle school science teacher, a tenured college instructor, to starting an online company teaching people how to make movies and video games, with really, it's amazing to have 1.5 million students all over the world whose trajectories in life are completely changed. Now, I didn't graduate on my own, and neither are you. You've had a success network. A success network is a network of people who are often in the shadows and anonymously have helped you reach your goals today. Your parents who've encouraged you and supported you, the teachers who've poured their passions into you, the administrators who've silently cheered you on, your roommates who've put up with you, your RAs, bookstore staff, food service TAs, custodians, just to name a few of the people who work really hard, often without a thank you. As a former teacher, I can tell you, you are surrounded by people who care a lot about you. Let's give them a huge round of applause for changing your trajectory. Now, my last name is Patel, which most people think means motel. Yes, a lot of Patels own motels, and yes, my parents own a motel, which makes this very difficult to say, but Patel really means landowner and farmer. My great-great-great-grandfather started a farm in India, and it has been in our family ever since, growing rice, sugarcane, and mangoes. And growing up in El Reno, Oklahoma, I have been around farming pretty much my whole life. But it wasn't until my wife and I bought a winery in Napa that I really realized how hard it is to farm. There's a lot of work that goes into putting food on American family tables. And so those of you graduating today from the College of Agriculture, thank you for making that your life's work. For the future teachers that are graduating today, I have a specific message for you. As you enter the world of teaching, you're going to have students that are a bit odd, that they dance to a different beat in their own head, and they may not conform to the sit in your desk and follow along typical classroom management theory. I was one of those kids. I was a daydreamer. I would daydream of owning exotic cars, creating companies, inventing cool things, and one day being a great teacher. I had a number of teachers who pushed me back into conformity. They told my parents I wouldn't amount to much and that I would need to be in remedial classes. Teachers who didn't feel I fit the mold, so I wasn't valuable. If they didn't see in me, then what would I see in myself? I owe who I've become today to the teachers who told me one day I would go change the world. The teachers who said I am valuable and needed. There are a lot of administrators and teachers here at OSU that said to me personally, one day you're going to make a real difference. They allowed me to fill the Willard lawn with 5,000 fifth graders and create the I Wonder Fair. I would have said no, right? I had no idea what they saw in me, but I started to believe it. And now it's your job. You hold the real power in your words, your hugs, and your smiles. One day, one of your students will change the world, and you will have a key role in their development. My final thoughts to all of you is to not follow your passions. You're going to hear this all the time. Do what you love. Follow your passion. It's really hard to pay the bills with love and passion, right? Instead, I want you to think of it differently. I want you to be passionate about solving a problem. Work is based on providing a solution that is valuable to someone, so they'll exchange their money for your time and skill. As you enter the workforce, find areas that are valuable and then become passionate about solving them. For me, I realized there was an entire group of people who would pay me to teach them how to make movies and video games. So I used my education and all of my passion and all in to solve that problem. Today, it's a global company that my wife and I sold a few years ago. So you've heard me talk about trajectory a few times and how, just like that, someone's trajectory could be altered. Danielle Foster, will you please stand? All right, in the back. 7 minutes ago, I was a total stranger to you, and we have yet to meet. I've been told that you're an outstanding student and you're an incredible hard worker. If I can change your trajectory, you can change the trajectory of hundreds of kids. Danielle, my wife and I would like to pay off all of your student loans so you can start your career with no constraints. Thank you. You never know, right? You come to a graduation and you walk out debt-free, huh? Life's lotteries, right? Life's lotteries. Graduates, whose life trajectory will you change? Because all you got to do is one, right? You just got to commit to one. Please go out, make us proud on behalf of all of the strangers and your loved ones who have changed your life. You are now an Oklahoma State Cowboy.
And now, Danielle, since you have no debt, maybe you can give some money to OSU. Thank you, Piyush. That was fantastic. I really appreciate it.